Good morning and welcome to the Daily Tanya. Today is Monday, the 12th day of Iyar. And let's begin with Tzedakah. Gedola Tzedakah, Shemekarev says Geula. Tzedakah brings Mashiach closer. And we have to thank Hashem for all the things, the miracles that is happening to us in these difficult days. Hashem shows us His kindness and shows us that He's here, whether it was with the miracles that a couple of weeks ago with the missiles that came flying from Iran, or the miracle that Hashem made yesterday, that those who have threatened to eliminate the Jewish people are being eliminated themselves. A helicopter accident, and as I'm sure you heard the news with the president of Iran, that the enemy of the Jewish people. So Hashem is showing us everything, my children, don't worry, everything will be all right. And ultimately Mashiach will come. So we continue in chapter 48 in Tanya. And the Alter Rebbe in this chapter continues with the concept of having reciprocal love to Hashem, seeing what Hashem does for us, how far Hashem goes out of His way, so to speak, to contract His infinite light and to be with us and to have us created and so on. So we spoke yesterday about the distance between, in order for us to create a physical limited world, Hashem needed to have this contraction of the light, otherwise we wouldn't exist. So the Alter Rebbe continues again in this line of thought to understand what it means. What is the contraction about? As we spoke yesterday, that there is the developments of cause and effect, things that are being created in a way of that you can draw a line from the source to the effect, from the cause to the effect. But then there is the creation of something out of nothing. There is something that is, you cannot draw a line at all. There is a quantum leap. It's completely not related. So the Alter Rebbe goes on to explain and gives us an example of when you think in numbers. So to paraphrase, imagine if you have a multi-billionaire, billions and billions of dollars, and a homeless person comes, he sees him and he asks him for $1 to go buy something, a snack. Is that dollar going to affect him? Does that dollar have any value to this multi-billionaire? You would say no, absolutely not. But the truth is that is not true, because $1 has a value even to the multi-billionaire, because the multi-billions starts at $1. However, if you compare this multi-billionaire to a theoretical a person who has infinite amount of money. If you have a person that is able theoretically to have infinite amount of money, so if you would come and ask him for $1 billion, the billion, so that person who has infinite, is much less than the $1 to the multi-billionaire. In fact, the billion has no value whatsoever because he has infinity. And that is the example that the Rebbe uses to understand that how far we, the limited world, compared to the light before the tzimtzum, before the contraction, which is an infinite light, and there is no correlation, there is no line you can draw from the infinity to the finite. So this is what the Alter Rebbe explains. Let's see it inside. The Alter Rebbe begins by saying that really this concept of the tzimtzumim, the doctrine of tzimtzum, which is a doctrine taught by the Arizal, that is not the purpose here to explain. It's a very deep concept. The only thing is going to explain in general, in order for us to be able to relate to this, to be able to take the message, as we'll learn in next chapter, what God does for us, this tzimtzum, and therefore what we should do for God. So it says the Alter Rebbe, "V'hinei, protius hatzimtzumim eich uma ein kan mekoim biurim." Now, as for the intricate details of the contractions, how they achieve their effects and what they actually are, this is not the place for the explanation. Ach, derech klal, hein b'chinas hester ve'helem amshochas ha'oyer v'chayus. But in general, they are something in the nature of an obscuring and concealment of the flow of light and vitality. That the tzimtzum, the contraction, obscures the flow of this light, this vitality. It shouldn't shine the way it is in an infinite way, otherwise we would be infinite. Meaning we wouldn't be what we are. So that the light and vitality should illumine and reach the lower creatures in a revealed manner, pervading them and acting in them and animating them in such a way that they exist yesh me'ayin, something from nothing, ex nihilo. What does come to us? Only a very minute light. Ki im me'at mize'er oyer v'chayus b'chdei shehiyu b'bchinas gvul v'tachlis. In only an extremely minute measure, so that they be in a state of finitude and limitation. Shehi ha'orem mu'etes me'oid וממש כלוי חשיבה לגבי בחינת האור בלי גבול ותכליס ואין ביניהם ערך ויחס כלל. This light and vitality that is revealed within them, within the creatures, after the contraction, constitutes an infinitesimal illumination, meaning a very tiny little bit of illumination, and is truly considered as naught when compared with the quality of the limitless and infinite illumination, and there is no proportion or relationship between them. Meaning they are not quantitatively different, not even immensely different in quantity, but of a wholly different and incomparable quality. And here the Alter Rebbe brings the example of the numbers. Kanoida pirush milas erech b'misparim, as the term proportion is understood in number value. She'echad b'mispar yesh lo erech legabe mispar elef alafim. Where the number one stands in a certain ratio to the number 1 million, for it is a 1/1,000,000th part of it. But as regards a thing which transcends finitude and numeration, there is no number, however great, that can be relative to it. For a million and a trillion, when compared to infinity, do not even attain the relevancy of the value of one in comparison with a billion or a trillion. For the sum of one retains some degree of relevance even when compared to a trillion. It is in fact 1/1,000,000th of it. Well, even a sum of as large as a trillion has no relevance at all when compared to the realm of infinite, but is veritably accounted as nothing. And that is the idea. That is the idea when we're talking about godliness. Godliness is completely infinite, and we cannot. There's no measure that we cannot measure up to the infinity. We are considered as no relevance at all. And we'll continue Mitzvah Shem tomorrow, where the Alter Rebbe continues with this explanation. A wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.